First of all, Debs, we've had you on the show before. It's great to have you back. Rarwiri, I'm so stoked that you're here, brother. It's great to have the two of you here. As a political tragic, I have been wrapped with the changes that you've brought to the political discussion and in Parliament. I think Te Paati Māori is really exciting for anyone that follows politics, because you are being unapologetically Māori, and that's great to see. There's two things in recent memory that has made me really proud to be from here, and it's the treaty's principles hikoi, and it's Hana standing up in the house and watching that reverberate around the world. I had friends of mine from Europe, from the US going, hey man, we've seen this. What is happening? It's amazing. And I think in a lot of ways that is part of the reason why they've decided to come out and hit you with this unprecedented punishment. Because it's like, when you embarrass someone in front of their friends and the reaction is always way over whatever you did. That's what this feels like to me.
Yeah, we broke the good China.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I'm sure you've seen it, the comments on social media about what you did and why you didn't, all these reasons. I had someone arguing with me backwards and forwards on Facebook that the reason that the is you just ripped the paper, which is parliamentary policy, that you stopped the vote as you or you didn't vote. And it's like, well, the first 6 words out of Hana's mouth were, here are our votes. So none of that is true. And it shows how hard you guys have to fight when there's so much misinformation, when there's so much fragile white fear about what you guys are about and what you guys are doing. I don't know if there's a question in there. That's just some general feedback.
I definitely think you're right. The viral, it going viral, and I'm going to tell you this. We don't tell too many people, but poor Hana was only meant to rip the paper. One of our MPs couldn't get back. And so we're like walking down the corridor, going down the stairs and like walking into the place. And we're like, well, I can't do it. I've got to do the point of order. Well, Rarwiri, you've got to do the speech. And Mino, you're going to have to hold our seats in case we get kicked out. And we're all looking at Hana. Well, Hana, you have to be at. I don't know how to start Ngāti Toa's haka. I don't know. We're all going down. Never mind. You just make it up. And at one point, she goes, "Why, Deb? You got it, bub." And I think, I guess that's how we roll, is the organic. So we had a view that, and I know you guys would feel the same. You just can't silently sit there with something like that going on. But a lot of what we do is organic, as much as everyone sort of thinks, it was pre-planned. I mean, the fact that Ngāti Toa happened to be upstairs, go figure. But, there was a certain degree that was very organic, Rarwiri, so.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the haka for us, I am the same as you. I think that was probably in the history of New Zealand politics and Parliament. I think that's going to be one for the history books. We've broken a few records. Near on 100,000 people marched to Parliament, biggest hikoi in the country. Yeah. Over 300 and near on 315,000 people made a submission. That's a record. There was a 360,000 signed a petition to Parliament. That was a record. There were over 1 billion views of the haka. That was a record. And then we've got 21 days suspension. Collectively, it's 49 days. That's a record. So we're the party that breaks records. And so, and the first not to wear ties and the first to wear tonga. And, and like Debbie said, people see that as performative, but it's actually transformative. And I don't think we broke the China. We actually broke the willow pattern plate that's in the cabinet. And that is the problem. They were embarrassed, highly embarrassed, that, there was a whole lot of the reaction to the Treaty Principles Bill was underestimated. They underestimated the power of the people, not just Māori, but they underestimated the power of Te treaty. They underestimated the power of tangata moana who turned up and stood in solidarity. And we will do the same for the Regulatory Standards Bill. Our people are already starting to band together. They're
already crashing the
systems
website.
are already crashing and things like that. So we already know a lot of people are making submissions into that particular part of the process. They only want a 4-week process. They don't want the 6 weeks. So this is his democracy. This is David Seymour's democracy. I know this because we're about to discuss this on Thursday. And that's part of the agenda, is that he only wants a 4-week submissions process and not a 6-week like any other normal bill. And this is just how he operates. And he wants it to get over the line by September, when he actually said he talked about the end of November. So he's retracting on a few things. So, I'm just saying context is a big thing in terms of understanding why we've done those things. The Treaty Principles Bill was about changing the principles and the articles of the Tiriti o Waitangi. The Regulatory Standards Bill is about annihilating it altogether.